there. And joining me now to discuss the impact of Trump's attempted assassination on his state of Pennsylvania is Democratic State Representative Jordan Harris. Thank you so much for returning to the program, Jordan. Good to see you. I mean, here we are a year later. I want to get your thoughts on where we stand today.
Well, political violence in this country is just un-American, full stop. And what happened here in Pennsylvania in Butler County should not happen to any president or to anyone in general who is engaging in political discourse. Understand that this has happened not just to then candidate Trump, but you talk about what happened at Nancy Pelosi's house or with Steve Scalise, or more recently what happened in Minnesota. These incidences should not happen and shouldn't happen in this country. But it also points to something that we have to talk about. That's the rise of the political rhetoric, but also they also have to talk about mental health and what that means in this country when you look at these type of incidents that happen.
You know, The Hill is reporting about the upward trend of threats against public officials persisting since Trump's assassination attempt. Let's take a look at this together. This is the headline, the threats against public officials persist. What do you make of this? I mean, you're talking about what just happened in just the last year or so. We've got to get to stop. How do we do that?
Well, listen, I have to be honest. I mean, as a public official myself, when I saw what happened in Minnesota, I was shocked. I was shocked. I was fearful, and I was concerned because what happened there could happen to any public official across this country. What we're not doing is we're not talking about some of the systemic problems that we have in this country that help exacerbate these things. Listen, the impetus for these things may be political hate. But when you look and dive deeper in it, a lot of the folks who are committing these heinous acts are folks who are suffering from mental illness. And listen, we have not addressed that in this country. We have not talked about it. If we addressed mental illness in the same way that we're addressing immigration, we might have ourselves an actual plan to address those in our country who are experiencing mental challenges.
Well, we certainly hope that things turn around with all of this, and we appreciate your time as always. Good to see you. Pennsylvania Democratic State Representative Jordan Harris, appreciate your time.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.